For anyone that's been holding out hope that The Undertaker's going to wrestle again, I can assure you it's not going to happen. He's never going to wrestle again, and here's why. He actually explained this, he broke it down, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense to me. Now, look, we have not seen The Undertaker inside of the squared circle, all geared up, in a while. In fact, we haven't seen it in years. We haven't seen The Undertaker wrestle in years. It was a Boneyard Match against AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36 in 2020 was the last time that we got to see an appearance from the Phenom, The Undertaker. Now, that is a much, much different person, if you could even say that. It's not even a person, it's a imagery, right? Because Mark Calloway is the person. The Undertaker is just a gimmick. It's a persona. It's a character. We all know that. Now, The Undertaker literally wrestled for decades, okay? He wrestled until the wheels fell off. And anytime that you have such a iconic figure, there is always a demand for one more match, right? Fans want to see one more match, one more entrance. And that's not going to happen. WWE, if you get on Peacock, they literally made a docu-series in 2020 documenting the internal battle that The Undertaker had with himself over wrestling. He would go on these roller coaster type feelings. 1 minute, he would have a good match, great match. Hey, man, I felt good. I can do a few more matches. Then the next time out, he would have a bad match. Oh, that would just rub him the wrong way. I can't go out like that. Then he'd have another match. Another match. It would be bad, bad, bad. Confidence would sink. Confidence would go down. And then he would have another good match. Hey, I can do a few more. It was never I can walk away now. It was I can do a few more. Right? When it's negative, I can't go out like that. When it's positive, I got more in me. And it's like, no, you don't. So he did an interview with Bubba Ray Dudley. He was speaking on his 6 Feet Under podcast. And Bubba asked him, is there a ridiculous offer that could persuade him to come back and wrestle again? And he said no. And the reason for that is because he put a mental check, a mental box. I don't want to say a check box, but a mental box in his way of doing that. And he said this, no, the only way I could put the hat and coat back on is that I have to get back in the ring. And I can't do that because that would jeopardize the legacy. As much as I have, and he points to his head and his heart, I know there's not enough left in the tank to do that. He continued, when I retired, I actually retired half of my character. The hat, the coat, the whole side of The Undertaker. I retired. I kind of retained the American Badass kind of part of it. That actually can relate to people. And so it helps me because I will not jeopardize that part of my legacy. And it frustrates a lot of people who want to do business with me because they want that. And the fact that I'm at the point where I absolutely will not put it on, that's how I protect it. So let me break this down. The Undertaker knows as much as he wants to, as much as he would love to get back inside that squared circle and wrestle one more time, he can't do it. He can't do it at the high level that he wants. And I also think he knows, hey, it took me a very, very long time to kind of get that bug out of my system of wanting to wrestle and going through the mental challenges and the heartbreak and the highs and the lows. Once he got that bug out of the system, if you try to open Pandora's box again, what do you get? Like, will he have to go through that yet again? He's almost 60. He's had a lot of injuries, a lot of things. And I think it was last year, didn't he get a hip replacement or new knees? Something like that. And like, he did a spot at WrestleMania 40 in the main event with Cody Rhodes. And it was like, oh, he's feeling pretty good. It's like, no, no, no. I need to slow down just a little bit. Like, you got new parts, don't need to put any wear and tear on them, no damage or anything like that. I've said this before, I'll say this again. The Undertaker should not wrestle again. He had some really, really bad matches and some really just a bad stretch for years in WWE. And they put him in a match with AJ Styles because they knew that AJ would absolutely deliver for him. And they wanted to give him the proper send off. And it just so happened to be during COVID that things changed. And so they went from having a actual match to a Boneyard match, which is still the best match from the pandemic era, in my opinion, because it was so different and it was so unique and it hid any weakness, any downside to The Undertaker. And it was able to show how good The Undertaker could be as a character and as a gimmick, something in which he first got over when he first started because he would no sell everything. He wouldn't do any, you know, big time moves. It was very bland. Like if you go back and you look at like the first, I don't know, 5 years of the Undertaker matches, they were awful because he felt like he couldn't do a lot. But as the years go on, then WWE, Vinnie Mac, The Undertaker, they started to kind of loosen up the reins on that character and they started to give him more. And so his matches got better because he's actually a really good worker, right? His mentality is there, everything is there. So when you look at that, it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. So, no, I don't want to see The Undertaker back in the ring. You don't want to see The Undertaker back in the ring. Nobody wants to see The Undertaker back in the ring because it's not what you think it would be. It's not like your childhood. It's not like 2010 or all the WrestleMania classics. The fact that he had so many WrestleMania classics towards the end of his career is amazing. But it seems like once when he had the end of an era match with Triple H, and then when he went out there and stole the show with him and Punk, his match with Punk was his last great match. It was in 2013. This man didn't retire until 2020. I understand he only worked, a handful of matches a year, if that, sometimes even just one match a year. But like, what do you really expect if you wanted him to come back and wrestle again? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him go through that mental pain, physical pain. I don't want to see it. And I don't think anyone else should want to see it. But there are those who still hold out hope that, hey, Undertaker can get it done. But I'm not there. I'm just not there. And I hope that people aren't there as well. Because it's like, we don't need to see it. It's done. It's over. It's in the ground. Let it be. Let me know down in the comments here below. What do you guys think?